Hello and welcome in, everyone. If this is your first time here, I am your friendly neighborhood reader, Dexion Dusk. And today's reading is all about setting yourself free. In other terms, you can see this as connecting with a more authentic version of yourself. You can also see it as breaking free of any kind of social community or old programming, things that have really kept you stuck and kept you really trapped inside of a box. So the inspiration from this came from the book Lilith by Nikki Marmory. When I first saw the book, I was like, "Oh, girl," because Lilith. But then just reading her example or her depiction of this very powerful feminine energy that has been restricted or ostracized, chained, beaten, abused, um, really connect with her in a different way. It was very similar to the Shack and how I think about the creator and all of the other deities. It really shifted my perspective on that. So, and then that led me to wanting to rewatch the movie. I saw the TV Glow by A24, which is one of my favorite movies. And yeah, the common theme throughout all of this is being your authentic self, breaking free of any restrictions or, again, anything that tries to tell you who you are and how you should act. And that being against your own natural, loving nature. All of that to say, that is what we're digging into today. We're going to see where you are restrained, where you've been held back, and how you could be more authentic or connect to a more authentic version of you. I do feel like this is a lifelong process. I do feel like we have many shedding seasons and transformations, so we are constantly becoming new people and having to reconnect and welcome those different versions of ourselves, those different facets. So, we are going to be focusing on these three cards today: pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I will give you guys time to pick with just the cards. About halfway through, I'll put up some charms from my charm bag, trying out some new things, and then I'll actually play some tones too as well. Okay, so I'll give you time now just to pick visually. Be sure to take a couple deep breaths, connect with your guides and your own intuition, and I'll be back. Okay, so for pile 1, the charm you guys got is like 4 came out. So hold on. All right, so so the crown you guys got is the crown. Wow, the charm you got is the crown. The crown for 2. The first one I picked up is 2 swans making a heart symbol. Okay. I'm already getting a story here for all of you. And for pile 3, yours is going to be, the one that fell out. And it's a kitty cat. It's a Hello Kitty. All right, Hello Kitty, little kitty cat. Hello, pile 1. Okay, so you guys had the crown charm here, the crown one. Let's put that up there for right now. And you got the node of the moon. Release, clear, and align. So I'll read this one, but it feels like the nodes of the moon. Release, clear, and align. I'm gonna say that like you guys are doing a lot of clearing, a lot of releasing, a lot of unburdening yourselves when it comes to your emotions, because that's what the moon rules. Yeah, I definitely feel it in my heart space. You guys have either gone through a very emotional time, traumatic even. This could be stuff from your childhood, or, you know, I heard something with a friend. Maybe you've lost a friend here recently, or dealt with some kind of grief, maybe a friendship ending. But I feel like there's been a lot of like emotions either pent up or not fully addressed. And now you're taking that time to address them and move through it. The nodes also reminds me of like North Node, South Node. So I feel like whatever you're processing, like whatever you're purging from yourself would actually be a good word for this, is to get you realigned. To get you realigned in your purpose and in your path. So I am going to read this like this card, so you can skip ahead if you don't want to hear it. But prepare yourself. Life changes are coming. When the nodes of the moon card appears, direction and shifts are headed your way. You're releasing limiting habits, old behaviors, and situations that have blocked your progress. You guys are like the epitome of this whole entire reading. So I feel like a lot of people are either going to be also picking pile one, or again, you guys just have like an overall theme for all three of the piles because you are literally doing the thing. Talents, ideas, and new opportunities will soon emerge, creating pleasure in your life. While change can bring discomfort, it's important to surrender. You are moving forward a more fulfilling direction that will light up your soul. See, I just talked about like your path, like it's clearing your path, connecting you with source. It's time for you to awaken to the truth of who you are and align with your higher self. Love that. The north and south nodes of the moon, also called the lunar nodes, are extremely important points in astrology. The lunar nodes are not planets, they are where the moon crosses paths with the sun's ecliptic. As a result, they are always 180 degrees or opposite from one another. For example, an Aries north node will have a Libra south node. You all also can't be transformative. You also can't have transformative solar and lunar eclipses without the north and south nodes of the moon. Okay, got it. In Vedic astrology, they are called Rahu and Ketu, a demon snake in Hindu mythology. The north and south nodes are representative. Demon snake, Lilith. The south node indicates the talents you're mastered in a past life, your natural talents and comfort zone. The north node is your soul's direction and the talents that you must develop in this lifetime. This is where you will feel the most fulfilled. Most of us lean on our south node early in life before we feel this string of misalignment and are influenced to make a change. So it's time to release the fear, let go of patterns that are holding you back. Yeah, you guys are literally, it might behoove you to look at your nodes if you haven't looked at that in your astrology chart. Cafe Astrology or Cafe, yeah, I think it's Cafe Astrology. I'll put a link to it in the in the bio. But that's a great way that you can go and just look at your basic like natal chart, and then I think it's naturally on there, but you might have to make a selection to like have it show up on your north and south node. So for example, my south node is in Cancer and my north node is in Capricorn. And those have very like specific energies to them. So obviously your nodes are either being activated right now. And again, the south node is what you bring from your past life, things that you're just naturally comfort with, and your north node is where you're going, like where you're headed. It's kind of like your sun sign in a direction that you kind of grow into it as your life progresses or as you move forward in life. So I'm just gonna pull some more cards to see if there's some more details about where you might be blocked, where you could be blossoming through. But yeah, it feels like, definitely feel like you're, again, doing a purge just to get realigned with where you come from and where you're going. And when you're in that alignment, you're connected to source, spirit, God, Buddha, Beyonce, whatever is your most high. I really need to stop saying Beyonce. Someone was like, did you know that there's an actual cult of Beyonce? I was like, I did not. I'm not a part of it. Love her down. Anyway, feel very chatty with you guys. All right, let's make sure. I'm gonna move this up a little bit. Every time I look at that crown, I hear royalty. Like royalty. It wouldn't surprise me if you guys get the Emperor or the Empress out here. A couple of kings or queens. 3 of Wands in reverse. The decks that I'm using are in the bio. King of Cups in reverse. Okay. Or no, that was the Knight of Cups. Okay. Damn, 3 of Cups in reverse? What is going on, pile 1? The Tower. Jesus. Yeah. Okay. There's definitely a lot happening for you guys. So if your life has been kind of chaotic or like just kind of been going through it, I understand. All right. And then finally, the 2 of Cups upright. So definitely a lot of clearing, a lot of turmoil as well. So 3 of Wands in reverse with the Knight of Cups here. 3 of Wands, when it's upright, is a card of waiting. It's waiting for your ships to come in. It's waiting for certain opportunities to happen. When it's in reverse, it can almost feel like things have passed you by. I don't know. This kind of feels like blockage, like something was blocked. So you were waiting for something, but it never arrived. And instead of what arrived, I feel like it's more authentic, like connection. Honestly, pile 1. Because then you have the Knight of Cups in reverse, which is like my narcissist card. And then the 3 of Cups in reverse, which is like my Mean Girls card. So it feels like you've been waiting for this truly authentic person. Like maybe you didn't really have a lot of people that you connected with. Maybe you didn't have like a lot of friends, or like not a lot of friends that you like showed your true self or your true authentic self with. It just never was very safe for you. My candle just popped. Yeah, definitely some energy there. And then instead of what those true authentic relationships, and I feel like you've modeled this off of like books and shows, maybe like, I don't know why, like Family Matters and Full House is coming through very strongly. But yeah, maybe you wanted like some kind of TV love or friendship, or just camaraderie or community. And then instead of what showed up are narcissists, and then people who were just mean, people who were mean girls, mean spirited. They gossiped a lot. They talked about people. They treated you bad, and there wasn't any true like camaraderie there. They were only in it like the friendship was only about themselves. So this is definitely like the popular group. Maybe you were hung around them. I definitely had some of this energy growing up. But yeah, it kind of feels like that. And you might be like, I kind of see it split. So some of you, like this was like your childhood, and some of you, like this is you now. And then others of you, this might be a cycle because the moon is all about cycles, right? And we keep coming back to things that we need to learn. So yeah, if this is something that has been recurring for you in your life, you know, you keep putting yourself out there and keep trying to meet new people, but you keep running into this energy right here, there might be something for you to learn. In the universe is definitely helping you here because then you have the tower, you have this major shift in breakup. For a lot of you, I feel like if this was your childhood, the big break was like either you moving towns, you moving cities, like physically like getting up and moving. Like we don't have the chariot up here, but this is what the tower feels like. Or you went to a different school. But all in all, this is a breakdown of those relationships. It came in a very dramatic faction. For others of you, like maybe if this is happening now, there might be a major shakeup that's either about to happen or just happened, where there's like a big falling out in the group setting. Could be an explosive argument. It could be a lot of things just coming to a head. They actually said tension. So you felt this for a while. You've definitely felt this for a while. But on the other side of this big dramatic blow up, you have the Two of Cups, which is that authentic relationship. It is that spark. It is that meeting of your best friend. You can even say twin flame, but I mean that more of like a a soul family, like meeting someone that you are solely connected to, spiritually connected to. Solely, is that a word? So underneath the deck, you have Justice, period. You have the Fool in reverse, and then you have the Two of Pentacles. So with the Two of Pentacles, there is a weight, like you're weighing back and forth. You're trying to decide what you're going to do. For some of you, you might be trying to weigh between these old, like familiar relationships. You know, maybe they're, you know that they're shitty, you know that they're not the best people, but there's still that familiar feeling to them. And then over here, you have this new authentic relationship that I feel like is a clear choice, but maybe it's scary because it is new, because you don't know this person, because you do have to open up and get to know them again. Yeah, and then with the Fool in reverse, it's like this hesitancy to start something new, to go back to the familiar, to not feel like the fool. I feel like some of you guys in this relationship, if things were to end, you feel like your image would be of the fool. Maybe people have tried to warn you about this, or maybe you know you've had certain inklings about this and you didn't listen. Listen, I just got that message today, so I'm in the same boat. But once you are shown the truth, acknowledge it. Okay? Lastly, the Justice being up here means that Justice is definitely on your side, and with it being up, meaning if you've been done wrong, especially in the past when it comes to your relationships, Justice is going to see that and send you people that will truly love you and appreciate you. If you do your work, if you learn from your past, the word mistake came out, but I don't want to say that, from your past relationships. Okay? You learn why you weren't happy. You learn what you could have done differently and move accordingly. Injustice will provide for you. For others of you, if there's any kind of like money dispute or legal dispute, you know, you used to be friends with someone and now you guys are suing each other. Again, justice says that it's on your side if you are being truthful and honest. If you're doing everything that you were supposed to do, justice is on your side. There's also something here with the weighing of the scales too. You're weighing the pentacles and then you're also weighing the scales. That's very interesting right there. So overall, Paul, one, I definitely feel like You're purging these old relationships, these old memories, these old emotions to let in something truly authentic, something that a relationship that will reflect more of that authentic you. And again, realign you with your past and your path to the future and forward in life, okay? So good luck. Thank you so much for letting me read you. If you would like a person reading, you can go over to my website, dexiondusk.com, and I hope to hear from you, see from you, all of that soon. Bye. All right, welcome in pile two. So you guys chose the swan dove things here. And your card, ooh, is the sun, your soul's purpose. So the sun being out here, pile two, tells me that this is more about like how you identify, how you see yourself, even how you connect with your own personal power. Definitely solar chakra focused. I'm having a really hard time talking. I know Mercury's like going direct, but it's still really hard to talk for some reason. Anyway, so yes, this is your card, the sun. There are many layers in your astrological DNA, and understanding your sun sign is a good place to start. When this card appears, confidence, joy, and time in the spotlight is on its way. It's time to move into the truth of who you are and align with your soul's purpose. The sun rules over the royal fire sign of Leo. Just as Leo loves being the center of attention, the sun is the center and is the life force of our solar system. In ancient occult and spiritual traditions across the globe, the sun was highly worshipped, with deities invoking its energy. In alchemy, your sun sign represents the spiritual gold and inner light. This bright star is luminary and provides the energy that is needed to sustain life on Earth. Without the interplay between the nurturing mother moon, reflecting the vibrant rays of the father sun, there will be no life. It is the delicate dance between the divine feminine and masculine here on Earth. The sun is your personal planet, so depending on your unique birth chart, its traits are usually visible in your personality. Understanding where your sun sits within your chart provides a map of how to access this part of yourself. In ancient alchemy, the sun placements in your natural chart can help you understand your higher self and align with its energy. The following, yes, and then it shows a guide of like who you are as a person. So, pile two, your card, the sun, is all about you becoming who you're supposed to be, who your soul decided what mold it picked, along with your spiritual guides, like before you were even born, growing into fully that mold and even breaking out of it in some cases. Um, hmm. Has your identity been suppressed? Or are you just becoming a new you? Very interesting. So I'm going to pull you some cards because what is on the floor? I feel like one just fell on the floor, but okay. So what can you tell me about the sun sign for pile two? The star in reverse. Yes, I was asking like if you felt repressed, and the star in reverse is that it's like making yourself smaller. It is putting yourself in a box. It's not having faith or having doubt, even. Yeah, I feel like this is so interesting, but it feels like you were raised as a different sign. So, for example, if you're a Leo, right, and you'd like to be the center of attention, if you like to be creative and have fun and have these like childlike energies, but you were raised as as an Aquarius. This can even be like if you've had like the wrong birth date or like the wrong time, so for example, Pile 2. The longest time I thought I was the monkey sign in the Chinese zodiac. And even recently, I was like, I'm a water monkey, you know, da 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 da. And then I actually looked at a calculator, like I went and put it in. I was like, wait, those times don't make sense. Lo and behold, I'm an iron goat. I'm something completely different. Um, so I feel like you had in your mind that like you were one sign or you were one type of person, but now as you like either get older or as you start to experience things, as you move around in life, you are deciding, oh no, girl, I'm actually this. I'm actually connect with this other thing. For others of you, it might not be about zodiac. It's literally about you being who you're supposed to be. So if you were raised to be very to love math and science in the literal world, but you're a very creative person and you're imaginative and you love fantasy, or vice versa, you know, it's just dealing with the suppression of self. Actually, there's secrets with the Seven of Swords. Where are we going? The Seven of Cups again. This also came out for pile 1. So, and there is some reflections between your pile and pile 1. Sorry, I just thought it was funny. Okay. Thank you. Oh, 10 of Swords in reverse, and then the 5 of Cups. Yeah, it's like... This is very interesting, pile 2. I did not expect to jump into all of this, but there is some secrecy around yourself. So I think this might be like for a specific person or for a specific small group of people. But I feel like you were the secret. You, like your birth, who you truly are, your identity might have been a full blown secret. Either, you know, you might have been switched at birth. This could be an adoption type of situation. This could be like ancestral stuff. So, like, you thought that you were just full black or full white or Asian, and then surprise, you're mixed with East Asian or mixed with African or, you know, Irish, Greek. It's like finding out something about your identity, something that was repressed. And the person who was doing this repression is the Knight of Cups. It wasn't done out of, they said fear. It could have been done out of fear, actually, but it was for this person to gain something. It wasn't done out of love or out of protection for you. It was for this other person to gain something. I apologize if this is a family type of situation. But yeah, for a lot of you, I feel like this is like ancestral stuff. For others of you, like if this is happening like in your real world, like you were raised and you always felt like the black sheep or you always felt like the outcast in your family, it's because your parents might have wanted like the ideal life or the specific version of you or family, and they didn't want you to be your authentic self because that didn't really fall in like with their plans. You do have the 10 of Swords here in reverse, so it does mean that this time, whatever was repressing you, has passed, and now it's the time to look back on how much that you have grown, how much you've gone through, how much you've survived. Because the 10 of Swords is one of like resilience. It is one of living to tell the tale, living through the war, and being able to show off your battle wounds. Yes, right now the wounds are still bleeding. It needs some medical attention, but you've gone through the worst of it. You have gone through the worst of it. 5 of Pentacles here at the end does tell me that you feel still left out. You might feel outside of the church, might feel ostracized from, like Christianity. This can even be like your family, again, society as a whole. But I feel like as you come more into yourself and come into more of your personal power, you'll be able to find that community. You'll be able to find those people who will truly love and nurture you. And part of that, again, is connecting to who you are, your soul's purpose. So underneath, we have the Seven of Cups. We have the Empress in reverse. Wow. And then we have the Six of Swords here. So all of the decks that I'm using are in the bio. But the Empress being here in reverse does tell me that there is a mother aspect here. For some of you, a lot of the secrecy was done by a mother or a female, like a grandmother or an aunt, someone like that in your family. For others of you, I just said suppression. There was something else there. Maybe it has to do with your mom or like maternal figures. Why did it just become so hard? Yeah, like there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of unspoken words. There's a lot of emotion there. Because even as I was like picking up the Empress, it was just an overwhelming. That was, all right. So definitely some strong energy with the Empress here. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. Moving on. The Seven of Cups. Underneath the Seven of Swords, 2 sevens back to back. 7 to me is all about clarity. It's about seeing things clearly. It is also like a holy number. So it's all about discernment, like deciding and seeing things clearly. And with the Seven of Cups here, it's like you have a lot of different options. A lot of different options. On how you want to identify or how you choose to identify. As you move into this more authentic version of yourself, you might find that you have a choice of like what kind of purpose you want to pursue, right? So it's not just one thing, it's like a whole area. It's like a ball field or a park even, but filled with opportunity, filled with different paths. And they just said choices. You have a choice. You have a choice to reconnect. You have a choice on how you move forward. You have a choice on how you embody all of these things that you're learning. And then Six of Swords in Six of Swords upright here tells me that you are on a path of clearing out your mind, like clearing out your mental. It's very funny because pile one had the Crown, which would ideally be about the self, the upper chakras, like your mental state. But theirs were all about love. And then you got these two swans, like making a heart shape, and yours is all about like identity, mental clarity, and gaining that. So if you were pulled to pile one, you guys might have like a sister message like going between you. If you weren't called to it like beforehand, then yeah, just keep moving forward. But yeah, Six of Swords is you moving to a place of clarity of self, clarity of who you are in your environment. I feel like you guys are going to get to a point where you just kind of have an epiphany of sorts, where you're able to kind of look around and see things very clearly from a new set of eyes. And maybe even like as you were looking around, you feel more connected to your environment or the people around you because you know of who you are and you know how you authentically connect to other people. Yeah. Pile 2, you'll definitely have to keep me posted because it feels like there's a lot going on there for you, okay? So I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for letting me read you. Thank your guides. Good luck with everything. Um, yeah, I hope to hear from you. Oh, if you want a personal reading, if you would like a personal reading with me, definitely go over to my website, dexiondesk.com. Okay? Good luck, Pile 2. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome into your reading. So you guys chose the little kitty charm. So far, those have had no bearing on the reading itself. It's but I just like to show it. And your card is sublimation, spiritual magic. So it feels like Pile 3, you guys are my spiritual girlies. You guys have been repressed in your spiritual practices. Maybe you feel like maybe you were someone who grew up and you were always into like the occult, spirituality, astrology, or that kind of thing always interests you, but that was suppressed either by your family, by society, by the church, whoever, your classmates or co-workers. Actually, co-workers is what just wanted to come up there. I can also see like if this is ancestral, maybe your ancestral knowledge, your ancestral inheritance, spiritual knowledge was severed. This could have, I mean, we're in America, so it could be from slavery, it could be from colonization, or it could just be, again, from a disconnect like within your ancestral line. Maybe an ancestor from back in the day, they were like, you know what, we're not practicing this anymore. We're not going to feed into this anymore. Like, we're just going to move on to something else. Because that happens too. So I'm actually going to read this card and then we'll pull you some tarot to see if we can get some additional messages. Okay. All of the names of all the decks that I'm using will be in the bio below. Okay. So sublimation, spiritual magic. Spirit, soul, vibration, and frequency are invisible superpowers we all possess. When you're in alignment, these spiritual forces magnetize, draw, and manifest your experience on this physical plane. When the sublimation card, oracle card appears, you are activating your light body. The belief is that you have a spiritual field surrounding your physical form, acting as a light vessel. The ancient Egyptians called this the Merkaba, which is Hebrew for chariot. When you are aligned and living your soul's purpose, your light body will vibrate higher, drawing in support, abundance, joy, and elation. It's funny because there's been little drops of connection between all three of the decks. It's very interesting. I'm seeing that connection. Anyway, you can navigate you can navigate your reality with no resistance, suffering, or fear. This is true spiritual empowerment. The scientific definition of sublimation is the shift of a solid substance into gas form with the use of heat without moving through the liquid phase, like when dry ice turns into vapor. During the magnum opus, this is when the physical ascends to the spiritual. Practically speaking, you can mentally mold your intentions and bring them into reality through your physical form. Sublimation phase requires a faith in the unseen and a deep trust in the universe to guide you towards your highest good. Very high priestess energy there. Integrate your imagination, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and spirit into your physical form. Notice what exists in other dimensions, like creative ideas, concepts, or visions, and when one resonates, bring it down into solid reality through action. Okay. Okay. So it does feel like you are connecting again to that high priestess energy, which is all about hidden information, which is about seeing into the unseen world, peeking behind the veil. I wouldn't be surprised, Pile 3, if your dreams have been off the chain. Or, if you do meditate, maybe you're seeing new things or uncovering um, new information, getting new messages that might be a little hard to understand, or like, what the fuck? Because it has that feel to it of like, girl, what? So, is there anything else you can tell us for pile 3? Thank you. That fell on the floor. That was the devil in reverse. Are you holding yourself back or with someone else? The 5 of Pentacles. A lot of religious things here. I mean, all the cards are religious based, but most of them. Yeah. You have the Knight of Swords upright. I think that's our first upright swords of the day. The Chariot. It was talking about the Chariot. Okay. In the Rainbow Bridge. I love this. I love this. Damn, that fell on the floor too. What was this? And the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so as soon as I touched this ace, it felt like it was like weighing me down. Weighing me down. So the devil in reverse, to me, a lot of the times talks about you holding yourself back, you being afraid of your own power. It's like you put the chains on yourself. That next to the 5 of Pentacles, I feel like, and this has been like a theme in all of the decks, kind of this sense of being left out, feeling not fully accepted by community. It was definitely a thing in pile 2. But I feel like, yeah, it was like, maybe people told you that like you were the devil, or like if you grew up in a very like religious household or like community, that like certain spiritual practices or like Halloween was like devil work and devil worship. All witches serve the devil and demons and do all of this bullshit. And now as you're like connecting to your spiritual self, you're understanding that that's not true. You're having that realization of like, it's almost like they saw these things in you and like were terrified of it. And so in due fashion, you took on those fears and you took on that identity and pushed this side of this part away from you so that you can be more accepted. But I feel like it was always a thing of like, this sets me apart. And then after that, you have the Knight of Swords with the Chariot. So the Knight of Swords is a messenger. Yeah, I definitely feel like you either had like a person come to you and relay some kind of message. This could even be like spiritually speaking. So if you have a spiritual guide or someone that you're just very drawn to, whether that's like in the Egyptian pantheon, Ra, Thoth, Ma'at, if it's Greek, Zeus, Poseidon, Persephone, Hestia, African, Orisha, Oya, Oshun, Ogun, Shango. I mean, I can go on and on, but Santa Muerte, Kali, Vishnu, Ganesha, if it's the angels, Raphael, Michael. I don't know why I'm naming all of these people off, but I feel like you, pile 3, you connected to a spirit of truth, whether that again was in physical form, like this was like a person that you had some companionship with, like this is someone that was in the like spiritual circles or practiced magic or was in church and then left, um, or again like an ancestor, something. It was someone that brought some kind of message for you, and again, I feel like it activated you. Even with this eagle down here, I didn't even see it. Eagles are messengers. I feel like birds are messengers, like they all are, and they all have a connection to like being able to relay messages from a very high realm. That's why they can fly. That's why they have wings. Um, and even with the Knight of Swords being of air, yes, definitely, definitely knowledge and communication for sure. Even as I'm like sitting on this card, I just feel myself talking and talking and talking. So definitely a lot of communication there for you, pal. Three, and then right after that, where do you have the Chariot? The Chariot is movement. It is the universe saying, "Go ahead." I feel like you had this kind of flooding, this sense of like a green light um, appearing, and just saying, "Go for it, floor it." I literally just felt someone like hit the gas, so it felt like your life was taking off, or you could finally go, or you had enough ignition, or you had enough um, fuel to get to where you're going to. Um, I'm also going to point out this rainbow bridge behind them. Rainbow bridges are said to be a connection between the earth and the heavens. So, if you have wanted to practice any kind of like mediumship or spiritual work or connect with a guide or a god, um, this is like you can absolutely do that for sure. That this is not usually what the Chariot entails, but this is what I'm feeling for you. And even though we have another rainbow here, this Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like I just got a lot of words. I heard like wreck, I heard sabotage, but it feels like a trick. It feels like an offering that weighs you down. So, for example, again, if you're someone that's new to your spiritual path or upon your spiritual awakening and you want to get more into that, you're being offered a job that is a teller or an accountant or a police officer, but it's a job that's only being offered to deter you away from this spiritual path, to quote unquote keep you anchored and to keep you stuck in the person that other people want you to be. So I would be very careful and just to look at all the details of any kind of opportunity that you're being presented, and just to make sure that it's something that's going to allow you to keep growing. If this is something that you want to keep working toward, connecting with your own spiritual magic, learning more, spreading it, practicing it, making sure that no money or no financial situation becomes a restraint from you. Has very devilish ties to it with this Ace of Pentacles here. Okay, so underneath the deck, you have the Nine of Swords in reverse, which I actually do like. You have the Six of Wands in reverse. Damn it. And you have the Knight of Cups in reverse. This card has showed up in every single reading I did today. Every single one. That is wild. Okay, so Knight of Swords being in reverse means that you are moving past those negative thoughts. They actually said like negative thoughts. Ways of like beating up yourself or not feeling or thinking that you're not perfect or thinking that you're weird or there's something wrong with you. You're moving past that. You're healing from that. Six of Wands in reverse though is a fear of losing, publicly, a fear of even winning, and like what does that mean? And with that being underneath the Chariot card, it's like a fear of like going down this route. So I feel like for some of you, pile three, there is a fear of you fully delving into the spiritual world, into the occult, into these practiced things that are ostracized or bad mouthed. Um, and if you're coming from like again a Christian or Catholic sense of things, I can kind of attest to that. Because we're taught so much of like everything outside of God, outside of Christ, is demonic. And then when you again remove yourself from the church or just open up a window and look at life outside of what they're preaching, you see that it's not always the case. Like that's not the case. Yes, there are some mean, rough, evil energies in these spiritual streets, but the road is not paved for hell. I like that. I might get that on a poster somewhere. But, there is beautiful, loving, supportive energy outside of God and Jesus and the angels and everything else. And you're allowed to connect with that, just like so many other communities, so many other people around the world have in different paths. So don't feel like, you're going to welcome some dark energy and you're going to surrender your free will if that's not what you want to do. A thing that's really helped me throughout all of my spiritual path is just having the intention of connecting with energies that are helpful, that are loving, and that are connected to source or creator. That was like 3 different things I like almost always say, like when I'm doing a prayer or setting up an altar or doing a reading. It's something along those lines, and it's always kept me safe. Now, I'm not saying that just because it worked for me, it's going to work for you. Maybe you need to adapt it. Maybe you need to call on specific forces. You do what you need to do, but you can use that as a starting point for yourself. Okay? Don't let fear keep you from growing, from connecting with this authentic version of you. And then lastly, you have this bitch ass Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups is my narcissist card, and it's come up in every single reading as a new narcissist. So where you have this true, honest, authentic communication connection with this Knight of Swords that reveals so much about you and excited you to want to pursue certain things, to go after certain things. The Knight of Cups is doing the exact opposite. Again, it's only for themselves. They are a narcissist. So anything that they do or say, it's only for the intention of gaining for themselves. All right? So that's a way that you can decide who you're speaking with or how to handle the people in your life. If they're truly authentic conversations, allow you freedom in the space to be your authentic self or just to explore more about what you truly believe, or if you need to say and do things just to appease this person. Very 2 distinct things. And again, this person could not even physically be here. That they can be in the spiritual world or connecting to you like through your dreams, and then this person is like in your face. For some of you, I can also see like this being an ancestors or someone who has passed, but maybe they were very dogmatic, very religious, very it's Jesus or nothing. And even though that they've passed on and no longer are physically in your life, you still have that mentality or you still have that fear that they instilled in you. Set yourself free from that. Okay? You're done beating yourself up. So don't let other people beat you up either. Don't let other people keep you stuck. as my candle's popping. That is it that I'm seeing for you, pile 3. Thank you for letting me do your reading. If you would like a personal one, hop over to my website, dexiondesk.com. We will get you hooked up. Yeah, hope to hear from you soon. Bye. Good luck.